Yeah, that's just how the show's going to start tonight with the old promo from last week. Hey guys, welcome to BroDown. This is a brand new edition, and this is an edition after WrestleMania. I sent out a message or a promo earlier today saying I got a feeling this is must see because before we can get into what happened on Smackdown tonight, we've got to talk about WrestleMania.
Do we have to?
I'm afraid so, Dutch. And Vince, I want to start with you right off the bat because I kind of know where you're probably going to go, but Dutch, I'm not so sure. So
wait a minute, but Mac, we know what Mac. What are the rules of the game?
What are the rules of the game? Dutch goes first.
We gotta go to Dutch first. Dutch is the legend. We gotta honor Dutch. I'm a little disappointed though because Dutch, you came into the shot and you had your Elvis Las Vegas glasses on, and bro, they look spiffy. I love those glasses. Why'd you take the glasses off, Dutch?
Well, I never wear them on the podcast.
They were Viva Las Vegas, man. Elvis glasses. I love them, bro. Look at them, man. Look at that. Yes. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Dutch. Give us your thoughts, bro. You go first.
Okay. I'm watching the show tonight. Let me just say this. And I never go to sleep watching any shows, really. But tonight, I just woke up. And I woke up at like 2 minutes till 11. And I said, and he was going up the ladder. And
yeah, see, that makes sense, Dutch, because Vince and I were waiting, going, "Where's Dutch?" And we almost thought we heard noises in the background. It sounded like a haunted movie. Instead, it was probably you snoring.
Oh my God! So, but let's go back to WrestleMania.
Yes,
they had a few good matches, really good, but that last one wasn't included in that list. It looked like they did this in slow motion. It had no intrigue to it. Of course, everybody kind of figured it out. And I'm looking at that crowd and I says, they're expecting The Rock. That's what they're expecting. I was expecting The Rock. And all of a sudden, we see the slowest entrance in forever with Travis Scott going to the ring. Could he get any slower? I swear to God. And the referee was down for why even have a referee if you're going to treat him like that? It's like a damn dead man could probably recover quicker than what that referee did. And it just went on and on and on. But I said, okay, but The Rock is coming. He's going to bring this crowd to its feet. And then all of a sudden, 1, 2, 3. And then the crowd realized after about 15, 20 seconds, hey, Rock, he ain't coming. I think we got screwed, pal. And that's what, and I was highly, highly disappointed in the match. It was very un-WWE-like in its finish. And I don't know who put it together.
I was going to say, Dutch, that's a great question. Who put that thing together? Because of all the matches on the WrestleMania cards, whether that was on Saturday night or Sunday night, that match, the very end, the night that normally, now I know this is not the Vince McMahon era, but normally you send fans home happy at the end of WrestleMania. I didn't see that happen. I didn't like the way they involved Travis Tritt at the end. And I don't Travis Tritt. Yeah. God, I wish
Travis Tritt's a singer, isn't he? A country singer.
I guess we're tired of hearing
with all due respect, Dutch, it probably would have been a lot better if it was Travis Tritt.
Yeah, it would have been. So, and did you see The Rock on the Pat McAfee show?
Actually, I did see
Why don't we just come out and just tell everybody, hey, we've sit around for weeks and weeks and weeks and figured this out. Of course, if they'd watched the match, I think they'd start saying, hey, WWE needs to get its money back from you guys. if you're going to let a finish like that slide through. I don't know. But tonight, and I'll watch it tonight, and I'm sitting there like this. I was passed out in there. I went, my God.
Well, let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't like to do this too often, but for WrestleMania, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, Saturday night's version of WrestleMania, what did you think?
Oh, I think it was better. I think the last match and the girls' match actually won the match of the weekend. That had timing, that had great crisp work. It made sense. And I mean, I was really proud of those girls.
So you like Saturday night better than Sunday?
Oh, yeah.
Did you? Okay. I see. I kind of found it different. I enjoyed Sunday night more than Saturday. I didn't. Now, let me make this clear. I didn't enjoy WrestleMania, but of the two nights, I thought Sunday was better than Saturday. So what about Sunday night for you? Did you think that Sunday night would be what, an 8, 7? What would you give it?
Talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute. I'm going to do a little Robert De Niro. You talking to me?
Yes, sir.
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
No, what would I give Saturday night? Of course, I'm going to give it, the last match takes precedent over whether, it's rated high or not. I'm going to give Saturday night like a 5. I really am.
And Sunday night?
Did I say Saturday night a 5? I'll give Saturday night just because of the girls' match, I'll give it a 7.5. And Sunday night, I'm going to give a 5.
All right, Vince. Tell me.
You know what's funny, Mac?
Yes.
I swear to God, man, when you write these shows, and especially now with these shows being 3 hours, and Dutch will tell you this, Mac, they always remember the last thing they see. And that was the contrast between Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, they went off with the 3-way, and that's what they're going to remember. But then Sunday, they're going to have that taste in their mouth of that match, and that's all they're going to remember about the show, man. They always remember the last thing they see.
You had to watch the entire Saturday and Sunday for Sportskeeda.
And I did watch-alongs, too. I did 8 hours worth of watch-alongs.
By the time it was over with, were you ready to call it quits?
Mac, I swear to you, because keep in mind, Mac, we did this show on Friday. I did Saturday. I did Sunday. I did Monday. Bro, the only way, and this is a shoot. The only way I can describe what I felt like was, remember Rocky at the end of Rocky 1? When he's in the ring and his eyes are shut and he's screaming, dangerous. I swear to God, I literally felt like somebody just beat the ever-loving shit out of me when it was all said and done. Way too much, man. Way too much.
I'm going to say what I've said since the very beginning, and Vince, you know this because we were talking about this even before Dutch when you joined in. I have thought that this build to WrestleMania was the worst that I have seen in years. And it makes zero sense to me that you can take last year and have all that build up and make people want to see WrestleMania and look forward to the big matches. And then this year you do absolutely nothing like you did the year before. Why would you pull back? And then, like Dutch, you said, Rock got on Pat McAfee and he made some comments. And he said that he could have been involved in the WrestleMania match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. Instead, though, he wanted the spotlight to be on Cena's 17th win. I call bullshit.
I'm throwing the flag on that.
Yeah.
I'm throwing the flag on it. The Rock knew that if he wasn't there, there's going to be a central piece missing of this puzzle. And if your puzzle is not complete, then it's not finished. Now, I'm not saying that they were going to finish it, but the people would have felt a little bit more included if The Rock had been there, and at least they got a look at him. But they didn't even get that. They didn't get this. They got nothing.
Not even social media before the event.
So Matt, can I tell you what I think happened?
No, you can't. Dutch, what do you? No, I'm just kidding, Vince. Go ahead.
I think, and listen, man, if you guys were both wrestlers, you know what we're talking about. First of all, the heat with Triple H and Rock goes all the way back to 1990.
I was not Vince. For your information, I was not a wrestler. I was an entertainer before it became fashionable.
Dutch, don't feel bad because people have made fun of me, and I've always said it's not wrestler. I'm actually was the performer of the wrestling group. So
yeah,
but the bad blood goes all the way back to 1996. Now, Mac, we have to go back to WrestleMania last year. Okay. Rock came in, Rock got involved. Rock did not think that Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes was box office. So they decided it was going to be Rock and Reigns. And I'll tell you why they decided that. And I'll tell you exactly what they were going to do because I got this. I mean, I was told this. This is what they were going to do. Mac, if you remember, there was the in-ring where Cody Rhodes cut the promo with Roman Reigns. And he said two things. He said, we're going to take everything from you. We said, we're going to take everything from you. And then he said, but we're not going to have a title match. He said that because this was the plan. Cody was supposed to take the Lola Falana from him, the head of the table. Cody was going to beat him for that. And Rock was going to take the belt. That's why Cody said, we're going to take everything from you. So that was Rock's plan. That was the plan. And then you know what happened. The marks went in an uproar. Dave LaGreca put on his pink robe, and they changed it. Bro, that's been sitting with Rock all year, man. That's been sitting with him. This was his revenge tour, man. This was his revenge tour. I'm going to make an appearance. I'm going to set this whole thing up, and you ain't ever seeing me again, and all the shit is going to fall in Triple H's lap. That's what this was, man.
And he also said
I got to agree because it almost looked like there was a warring faction going on.
Yes.
And The Rock took himself out. That was his decision to take himself out, and I don't think Triple H he couldn't combat that. And The Rock knew that if he was out, it's going to fall apart, and they're going to fall. Now, does that increase his worth to TKO? Brother, he went through the moon. Now, and it's a conspiracy theory, I know, but this is really the Rock versus Triple H, and this is the opening salvo of it. You like that word, salvo? I read that about 20 years ago, and I always remembered it. The opening salvo. And
Matt,
it's interesting.
Can you bring up something that's very, very telling? Because I want you to read it to Dutch. Dutch may have not seen this. Can you bring up Rock's tweet to Dave LaGreca?
I've got it here. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things that I was going to talk about here. Let me pull it up real fast for you.
I read that and I sent it. I think I sent it to you. Didn't I, Mac?
You did. You sent it to me, which is where I've got it. And this is what for those who are watching.
Wasn't that where The Rock invited Dave LaGreca to sit in with them?
But what happened was that The Rock heard or saw the video of Dave LaGreca losing his shit over the poor booking, especially in the main event of Sunday night's WrestleMania. And he got so worked up. He does his rants for Busted Open. Dave LaGreca, full transparency, friend of mine. But Dave was getting worked up doing one of his rants, and he was getting red-faced doing that Ric Flair, kind of like, I'm getting near a heart attack, pissed off. And when The Rock saw that, he wrote back and tweeted, "Hi, Dave. The business is a complete work. Always has been, always will be. Every aspect of it, every match, every interview. please join me, Cody, Cena, Brian, and the rest of us for our creative discussions.
Max,
no
stop
mention.
right there. Who did he say? Who did he tell Dave LaGreca to join?
Join me, Cody, Cena, Brian, and the rest of us.
Who's missing from that? Oh, could it be the chief content?
There you go.
Bro, that is so telling right there. Join me, Cody, Cena, Brian Gerwertz. No mention of Triple H whatsoever. Bro, that right there, Mac, tells you everything you need to know.
And, here's the truth. Since the takeover of TKO, I have been hearing rumors, and I think all of us have that have been in this business from people that we know, that Triple H will eventually be on his way out because of the heat between Triple H and The Rock. Now, it could be that we're all getting played. Could be. But I just don't think so. There's too much that says there are too many bad decisions being made, and some of it's just plain stabbing somebody else in the back. It feels like.
Hey, Mac, do you remember, and I don't know if you and Dutch remember Rock's show, Young Rock?
Yeah.
Remember Rock pulled Shawn Michaels from that show? That's how much heat there is. Then, serious, he pulled Shawn off of that show because of the heat from 1996. Listen, Dutch will tell you, bro, when you got heat with somebody in wrestling, man, it can last for 30, 40, 50 years. That's just the nature of the beast, man.
A lifetime.
Right.
Look at Vince and Cornette.
Yeah.
That's lasted longer than a lifetime. That will last into the 2300s. And the guy said, I read one time where these two guys, Vince Russo and Jimmy Cornette, they just hated each other. Is that true? That's what I hear.
Ronnie in Las Vegas with $2 saying his analysis of tonight's show. He's talking about SmackDown ratings poison. Let's see what else we got here. They should bring back SmackDown versus Raw competitiveness. They have brand split right now, but it isn't respected, and you know that it's true since Russo didn't even know if Cody was on Raw or SmackDown.
I had no idea.
All right, what else we got?
I got to ask Dutch a quick question. Dutch, I'm not going to put you on the spot, so I'm gonna turn the question around. Because I would find this hard to believe knowing Dutch. Seriously, this is really hard to believe. Dutch, was there one of those people that just did not like you for years and years and years and years?
Didn't like me?
Yeah.
Well, there's been a few, but who are you talking about?
No, I'm asking you because I would find it hard. I mean, we see how Dutch is, bro. Liking Dutch is like not liking a Pillsbury Doughboy. But I can't imagine somebody having heat with you for a long period of time. But they did.
I don't know where this. I don't know who had heat with me, but.
So you never had issues with anybody back in the back during your day?
Not really. I wouldn't.
Wow. Not like today, huh?
Well, that's because,
or maybe I'm the dumbass here. I don't know. If I got heat with you, I mean, I don't worry about it anyway. If I got heat with you, I'm not going to go up and especially if I don't even know about it. But I'm not going to go up to him and say, "Hey, whatever I did, so I don't give a shit." If I got heat with you, if it was surely. It was unintended, and if you didn't try to say, "Oh, I intended to do it," well, I don't know. I want you to tell me who this is so I can go shoot him.
No. I was asking you, Dutch. I was trying to stir the pot. Dutch. I don't know, Dutch. I don't know of anybody that ever had heat with you. I mean, I don't. I honestly don't.
See, and you don't find that very often.
Yeah.
But see, I don't take this job home with me. I try not to, because it will drive you insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then if you go back to the job and then you're going to play political commentator or you're going to play politics, you're not going to win anyway.
Yeah. So
just say what you got to say to the people who matter. And if they don't fix it, it's not going to get fixed.
Yeah. You know, Mac, that's the thing. The relationship, you know, Rock's relationship with these TKO people, it's deep rooted. Like, you know, he's known Ari Emanuel for years. He's known Nick Khan for years. See, here's what you got to understand. This is all just a question of how much The Rock wants to get involved, because the people who own TKO and are running TKO, they are looking at The Rock. This is a bona fide movie star. This is a guy that the entire world knows. There is value here. Mac, they're looking at Triple H like a wrestler. That's how they're looking at Triple H. So again, depending on what Rock wants to do, Triple H loses, because Rock could replace him tomorrow like that if that's what he wants to do.
You know, he did make some comments, and we don't have time to get into them all, but he did say that he would have done things differently at the ending of the match in the main event Sunday night. He suggested a couple of times that, well, I would have handled that a little bit differently.
No, he would have, because he absolutely knew if they did this finish, it's going to increase his power. But all he had to do was just not show up.
Yep.
Because you could tell. I'm watching it and I'm saying, this is the absolute shits. It really was. It was slow moving, and you know, half the people were for Cena and half of them were for Cody. And Cody looked displaced anyway. He didn't look like his heart was in it. And then I said to Travis Scott, his walk to the ring, it was like, hell, a Sunday afternoon jog around the park is quicker.
Yeah,
an 80-year-old guy.
You know, and even with Travis Scott being involved in the match, based on what The Rock was saying, the reason why he didn't want to be involved and he wanted to back away and just focus on John Cena 17, then why did we get Travis? Because Travis was originally a part of that whole "I want your soul," you know, and we didn't end up getting any of that.
Well, then, Mac, why was The Rock involved at all? Because Cena already won the Elimination Chamber. He was having his shot anyway. What they should have done was it should have been a babyface run, and Cena turns heel during the match. That was
been the best thing.
You didn't need any of this. But I want to ask Dutch a question, because this one, to me, you talk about a red flag, Dutch. Dutch, in Vegas, at the venue, at the WWE merch stores.
Yep.
They were selling a shirt, Mac. So my question now is, bro, is it possible he no-showed? Is it possible
I forgot about that, Vince.
Yeah, is it possible he told them the day of, I'm not coming? Is that possible?
Well, it looks that way because I forgot about that image. I did see the shot of the T-shirt for The Rock in the shop, and I'm thinking, well, there you go. And I'm like you. It kind of makes me wonder, why would you put a shirt out like that? Especially, and if I recall, I don't have the design in my head, but I want to say it said something about Vegas, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, finally, The Rock has returned to Las Vegas.
There you go. Why would you make that shirt if he was not going to be there?
Well, it tends to lean that way because of the clunkiness of the finish. That finish looked like it was just thrown together, because I can't believe that a whole creative team would come up with that finish after they had like a month to do it.
Yeah. Because
they had to expect him, and all of a sudden he's not coming, and well, we just got to go with what we got here, guys.
Let me bring up one more thing about
WrestleMania. That is a good point.
Let me bring up one more thing about WrestleMania, and we'll move on to tonight's SmackDown. There was a video that, unfortunately, we had a video of Randy Orton with some fans, and he commented on the price of the WrestleMania tickets when he found out that they had paid $30,000 for those tickets. He said he was embarrassed by that. I'm embarrassed to say that they charge that much money as a fan, as somebody who's in this business doing what we do. That is absolutely ludicrous that somebody pays that much money and then you don't get The Rock. Go ahead, Dutch.
This is what happened. that $30,000 was probably a ticket scalper, because they can't put it out there for $30,000. Those top 3 seats ringside, they don't go that high.
I think they went pretty high.
They are, but not $30,000 worth. That was like a scalper ticket. But hey, I don't blame somebody for selling it, but I think that the scalping business has really just.
But there are times though,
you get all those dealers. You get all those dealers buying up all those tickets, at one time, and then a little closer they get to the event, of course, the ticket price goes higher and higher and higher. So if somebody really wanted to go, and you in Vegas too, you're there in Moneyville. Money is no object for those people. So,
but Vince, do you feel like maybe that the price of the tickets this year, the price of the merchandise, everything with WWE, it seems like, especially in the last year, has been all about money. Ratings didn't matter. Nothing else matters. Just the money. Am I the only one that feels that way?
It's TKO. Mac, they're an entertainment company. I mean, this is what they do. This all happened after the sale. This has all come after the sale. This is what they do. But Mac, here's the problem. They keep paying. They keep paying, man. And as long as they keep paying, those prices are going to continue to go up, man, like anything else.
Yeah, and I don't blame them for making money. I'm all about making money, but there comes a point where I think you start taking advantage of the fans. Ronnie Las Vegas, $5 here. Main event, 6 jabronis hurting themselves for a title nobody cares about. Conveniently ending at 11 p.m., another well-written episode of WWE Dynamite. Can I say something? And this may be surprising because Dutch, I know you fell asleep during the show, but I will say this.
I'm lucky I woke up when I did. They probably smashed. I tell you what woke me up. I tell you what, I think the crowd cheered because it was over. And I went, hey, damn it, this son of a bitch is over. And I got up and.
Well, we did start the show, and we had John Cena and Randy Orton on the microphone. And I got to tell you, I thought that was a great start. I thought it could have been a little shorter. I keep saying that there are areas they need to trim out because they tried to stretch these interviews to the last 20, 25 minutes at the beginning of the show. And sometimes they only need to be about 10 minutes. But I thought the opening promo between these two was very good. Vince, what did you think?
I disagree with you, Mac, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Mac, again, this is a pet peeve of mine. Mac, 15 minutes into the show before a word is spoken.
Yeah.
15 minutes before Orton said the first row. So you just literally wasted 15 minutes of my time. Mac, here's what I think the problem is. Rock said, Ari Emanuel called them and said, we're not selling tickets. Yep. I need you to come.
That was the pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber.
That's when he called him,
Yeah, we're not selling tickets. Mac, here's the problem, in my opinion. They pulled this Cena heel turn out of their ass. If you're going to turn, again, Dutch will tell you, this is the Hogan NWO turn. If you're going to have that kind of a turn, there's got to be a story, and there's got to be a buildup, and there's got to be a reason. Something had to happen to John Cena over a period of time to make him turn heel. There was none of that. No. They needed something, so now we're going to turn him heel. So that's why, to me, it's like when Cena's getting into his promo and he's trying his hardest to make sense out of this thing, Mac, you just can't make sense out of something that doesn't make sense. And he's trying desperately to do it. You're talking about his kids now. Now the fans are his kids, and I've been taking care of them for 20. He's trying so hard to connect dots. Bro, you can't connect the dots because there was never a story tied to this, Mac. So that's why now the emotion and all that stuff is fine. Orton's fine. But what they're actually talking about is like, really?
I thought it was a pretty good promo. I thought Randy was a little weak in one spot, but otherwise, I thought they handled the microphone pretty well, like two professionals in the ring. And it actually showed me that the rest of the roster probably couldn't handle the microphone as well as those two could. But Dutch, what did you think? You saw these two. Did you see the beginning of the show? Because you didn't fall asleep yet at that point, did you?
No, I was asleep going into it. And then I woke up when they were coming down the ramp. It took them forever to get again.
Always.
This is a big pet peeve of mine. It takes them forever to get going. Listen, guys, I know it's 3 hours. You got to kill 3 hours, but can we kill it a little better than just guys walking down a ramp, standing there and looking and singing their song or whatever they do? Then the other guy's got to come down. He's got to get the same amount of time, and then he gets in the ring. Then they look at each other, and that's an awkward silence. It just peeves the crap out of me. Then it started going good, and it was pretty good. And then you could feel it right when they hit the sticking point a little bit, right before Cena attacked Orton. But still, that wasn't the smoothest transition in the world either. That's what I'm saying. It's very un-WWE like. I think they're trying to make this like the movies and take their time. But in the movies, you can go back and edit it. I mean, would they do this in a movie? Would they show the guy coming there and the guy's when he shows up, he's going to shoot him? Why would he watch him walk all the way up on him? And I know that they're both produced, but at least show a little bit of concern for the viewer and how it's going to act in real time.
Do you know with what I want to say two things, Mac? With what I want to answer you, and then I want to say something what Dutch said. With what Dutch just said, I don't even know if you realize this. The WrestleMania entrances were agonizing. Oh, yes. Agonizing. They went on forever. Mac, do you know 2 nights, not one backstage interview?
I did.
You're gonna give me 10-minute entrances, and in 2 nights, you're not gonna interview one person in the back?
Does WrestleMania? Oh yeah, there was absolutely nothing. All you had was match after match. The only thing they would do is they throw back to a video package between live matches, just to kind of update you on what was coming next.
There were no live interviews.
Beyond Belair, that wasn't backstage tonight.
No, I'm talking about WrestleMania, Dutch. I'm talking WrestleMania. Okay. Yeah, WrestleMania. Okay. Yeah. And Mac, one other thing I just want to say about the promo you liked. I'll just give you a for instance. When John Cena tells Randy Orton, I'm going to make sure 3 generations of your family are erased. Why? You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, wait a minute. He's going to kill the whole family now? I mean, how you going to kill a tradition?
Like what did you've been friends for 25 years. What did he do to you that you want to erase 3 generations of his family? Like, why? There's no reason for that. That's what I'm talking about, Mac. That's all.
You know, one thing
my question is, how would he do it anyway?
Yeah, just take that belt and go home.
I guess.
Let's see. One of the things about John Cena and Randy Orton that bothers me is that I don't really care to see this again. This is
they just got to it just half-assed. They just said, "Hey, I'm in St. Louis, my hometown, hey, you're from there. We'll do it there, and I'll take out your whole family or whatever." That adds 0 to it. That makes people now question it, saying, "What the hell does he mean?"
But do we really want to see these two go at it again?
Do you?
Not really. I mean, I've seen it before. I think it's better for John Cena to work with somebody younger.
Well, not only that, Mac, but on top of it, like Dutch said, bro, they booked the match because Orton's from St. Louis. Orton ain't going over. Like, there's no way in hell Orton's going over. So why you're wasting my time? Okay, Orton's from St. Louis, so we're gonna book the matches. He ain't going over. So there's nothing there other than Orton's from St. Louis. That's supposed to make me want to watch the match?
We got nearly 500 in the room
How many's in the room?
right now. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, just send us a super chat and we'll pop it up on the screen and get those answered for you. We did have Dougie Fresh coming by with 269. Travis Tritt would have been much better. Talking about it earlier when I made that comment. Let's see what else we got here. A wrestling historian. Why not put the title on Tank Abbott instead of David Arquette after you came back to WCW as the creative director?
I'm glad you asked that, a wrestling historian, because I was going to. I had a beautiful story laid out, but that would take an hour to tell. But I actually was going to do that.
Let's see. Otis McMahon. Hey, Otis, good to see you. What is Jade Cargill missing? She's a damn good-looking woman, has charisma, but she seems like she's missing something. I already know
what she's missing is probably whipping your ass. That's probably what you're fantasizing about. Getting into bed and having just beat the dog shit out of you, and you like that. So, yeah, she's missing a lot. She's missing charisma. She looks fine.
Yeah, she's a great-looking package, but that's about where it ends.
But when I look at her, I'm going to make sure that I don't piss her off and make her mad.
Oh, yeah.
Because, hell, she could beat the crap out of me. And, hell, I might even like it myself. I don't know.
I've met Jade. She's a sweetheart. She really is. She looks incredible, but she needs more training. This is the problem with a lot of these main shows that we get on Raw and SmackDown. A lot of these kids they're putting on TV are not ready.
You know, you see, and I'm wondering if Dutch can answer this, because Dutch was a specialist when it came to women's wrestling. He was the absolute best. Dutch, you know what I noticed with a lot of the women wrestlers, and you see this with Jade all the time. Dutch, you see them waiting for the spot. You see it all the time. They get in place and you see them waiting for the spot. And for some reason, a lot of the women work that way much more than the men. Why do you think that is?
They're hesitant because they don't want to be criticized. They want to be in position so nobody can say, oh, you were out of position. I'm going to get in position. I'm going to wait on it. So they can say, well, I was in position for you. I was in position. Yeah, but they have a lot of things with the women still to do. And it's rehearsed, it's practiced, but they're afraid of really making a mistake and having everybody, especially the online people, come down on them. That kills them. Yeah. Because if you're going to be in the professional wrestling business, hey, you got to take your lumps. People say you're the shits. You got to say, okay, I admit, I'm agreeing with you. I was the shits. But some people can't take that.
Yeah. Let me ask you too something. I had a note in here, and I want to make sure I get this in tonight because you both worked at TNA. When I saw Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and his opponent ended up being the TNA champion Joe Hendry, would either of you put him in that match and have him look the way he looked by the time that match ended? Because he looked like he looked less than. And that's the champion of TNA.
He looked worse. Who was the guy that opened up the show tonight? What was his name? He was in the tag team.
Oh, the Faxium, and
Axiom, whatever. Well, he was down at NXT, right? Yeah. But he put up a better showing than what Hendry did. And Hendry went out there with Randy Orton, and now you knew he wasn't going to win. And he got 3 minutes. I don't even think he got one spot. And then Orton came back and just buried him a little more, and then hit his pose. But that didn't do TNA any favors.
They made fun of his entrance and the way he comes out.
They did put their symbol up, the TNA. But what did TNA initially mean, Vince? Wasn't it tits and ass? Wasn't it tits and ass?
Here was the conversation, Dutch. I was in my CD warehouse. I was in my CD warehouse in Georgia, and Jeff calls. We need a name for the company, and remember, Dutch. It was a pay-per-view, and it was supposed to be R-rated. We were supposed to have nudity and all these things. So I said, Jeff, TNA. He goes, TNA. He goes, what's TNA? I said, well, obviously it's TNA. It's tits and ass. But when anybody asks, we could just say it's total nonstop action. But obviously it's, that's why, because that's what that show was supposed to be, Mac. It was supposed to be an R-rated wrestling show. That's what it was originally supposed to be.
I didn't know that. I figured that tits and ass had to be, the TNA, but I didn't know that. Let me ask you though, Vince, would you have put Joe Hendry in that position at WWE? What does TNA benefit?
I disagree with you guys a little bit, because I think they benefit from the rub. Bro, for TNA to have a high profile spot like that at WrestleMania, no matter if it was a minute or 5 minutes or whatever, bro, TNA has a spot on WrestleMania. That may have been the biggest moment in that company's history. So I think the spot and the rub supersedes the way he looked. That's just my opinion.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. We have Traffic Jam, John Cena versus Randy Orton at Backlash. Two greats. AJ Manhu. I hope I said that right. Okay. This is for you, Vince.
Okay. Dutch, this is Dutch's favorite part. AJ Manhu. AJ Manhu. AJ Manhu. AJ Manhu.
All right, Ronnie, Las Vegas. Did you see Killer Cross worked shoot? Great stuff. I did see that. Vince, did you have a chance to see Killer Cross?
I thought that was great.
That's the kind of stuff that I would like to see more on the Netflix version, of Monday Night Raw. That's where you can do that.
Started, I guarantee you, that started out as a joke, and somebody said, well, hell, let's try it. And now it's getting over, and all that stuff they tried to do before that, TikTok or whatever, it bombed. Yeah. So make a joke out of it, and the people like it. Let's go with it.
Yep.
All right, Corey Jackson. Vince, is there heat between you and Rock? Would there be any interest from you to be a consultant for WWE if Rock had full control?
Yeah, there's absolutely no heat. I had a good relationship with him. I always say I would be interested in consulting. I'm available if you want to pick my brain. I would never get back into that grind in a million years.
He's just never going to watch wrestling ever again.
For a fee.
Yeah.
You want to pick my brain? Hey, show me some dollar backs, and then we'll talk.
Yeah. Money talks, always does. Let's see, Ronnie again popping in. A little better now. I hope so. Let's see, Ronnie, Las Vegas. I'm from Australia, and you need Netflix to watch all of WWE's programming. I'd cancel it, but I still watch Seinfeld.
Bro, that's the only reason I get Netflix is for Seinfeld. I swear to God, Ronnie, that is the only reason I get Netflix, because I go to sleep to Seinfeld every single night. That's the only reason, bro.
Yeah, that's sad, Vince. If you're going to sleep every night watching TV, you should be doing other things.
It's very sad, Mac.
All right, what else we got? Jason, was Dutch the same guy who managed Jack Swagger?
No, that was his twin brother, Ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't that good either.
That was his brother. Yeah.
Ditch. Yeah, that was Dutch Mantell. I'm Dutch Mantell, but he was Ditch. And then sometimes he was bitch. So according to what the situation was. Yes, I have to say, sadly, that was me.
How long did you do that for, Dutch? You did that for a while, no?
Well, I did it for 3 years, but the last year I broke my leg.
I know you did. Yeah.
And, I'm trying to tell them I'm hurt. Well, you need to show up, and hell. And it's still, then the pandemic hit. It's a long story. And I couldn't get the surgery. Then they had two pandemics. And then right in the space between them, I tried to get another. Oh, no, we got this pandemic. So time went on, and I still don't have the surgery.
Yeah. See, Dutch doesn't know. I had not talked to Dutch for years and years and years, but Dutch doesn't understand. I kept tabs on Dutch. I always knew what Dutch was doing. Dutch, you know who always smartened me up about what you were doing? I always ask, who do you think?
His
Rudy
wife.
Charles.
Ronnie and Donnie. Ronnie and Donnie were always filling me in on you. Ronnie and Donnie, bro.
All right,
Good
let's
guys.
see. The final signal. Hey guys, I thought I seen where Cody Rhodes was going to be at Smackdown tonight. Is he taking time off? I couldn't tell you.
Mac, I swear to God, they do this all the time. It drives me nuts. When they don't know what to do with somebody, they just keep them off TV. That's what they do. They don't know what to do with Cody right now. Like, what's he going to come back and cut a promo? Like, when they don't know what to do with somebody, they're just absent from TV, which drives me nuts.
But in this case, Cody can thank his lucky stars that they don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of forcing something and get out there and say this and say that, because they tried to do that before, when The Rock was there and they had that big schmoz about who was going to face Roman Reigns. And they finally got it worked out. It kind of worked. But I don't think they had that worked out all the way either. Remember when Cody was supposed to go against Roman? And then Roman wanted to take it. And I sat there and I went, what the hell are they doing? Mm-hmm. I mean, time to figure it out is not when you're live on TV.
No,
just what
not at all.
Announcers feel like saying. Okay, let me ask you this. Who do you think is in the announcer's ear during SmackDown or Raw?
I'll be honest with you, Dutch. I don't think anybody is.
I don't either.
I don't
You think that's Triple H?
I thought I've read in a couple of comments by some of the commentators that they've enjoyed not having someone in their ear. They got somebody who pops in if they need to tell them something, but they don't have somebody constantly harping on them like they've had in the past.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That Vince would get brutal. I've heard him.
Oh, yeah. Michael Pesalona. This is something I do want to talk about. Did Chelsea lose for complaining about Mania? Vince, what do you think?
I don't know why in the world you would take the belt off of Chelsea Green. So I would have to think this is wrestling bullshit. She probably did or said something that pissed somebody off. Mac, here's what you got to look at. Listen, Selena Vega is a sweetheart. Me and Dutch both worked with her at TNA. She's a sweetheart of a girl. Mac, when you look at Selena Vega and when you look at Chelsea Green, who's the money?
Chelsea Green.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. So the only reason you're going to take that belt off of her is if there's something going on that we don't know about, I think.
Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that maybe we're going to see a change of storyline for Chelsea Green that will actually highlight her talents, because I think we've said this for weeks now. Chelsea Green has gotten where she is because of Chelsea Green. Right. She didn't get any real help. She is just that damn good. Yeah. And when I saw her lose to Selena Vega tonight, I got to admit, I figured she must have pissed somebody off. And if she didn't, I could only hope that maybe we're going to see a better storyline for Chelsea Green, because she is one of the highlights of the women's division, if not the highlight of the women's division. Dutch?
I have a differing opinion.
Uh-oh.
And you guys hadn't heard this?
No.
I heard she was pregnant.
Oh, really?
Oh, interesting.
Well, not really. Not really. I just thought I'd throw it out there. Just to have you guys pop it. You gotta be shitting me. She's pregnant. Both of you went, oh, really? Now it makes sense. So
yeah, there's just so much they could do with Chelsea, and it's a shame because I just want to see so much more from her, because I do find her entertaining, and that's what's important on these shows.
She's my girl.
They missed such a spot at WrestleMania, because the way she was belly aching about not being on the show, they should have had a spot where she called out Nick Aldis. And she was like, I thought it was a rib. I can't believe I showed up here tonight and my name's not blah, blah, blah. And then she should have shoved him.
Yep.
And who's sitting in the first row? Nick Aldis's wife. You have Mickie James hit the ring and get on Chelsea. Now you got something for Chelsea Green. Now you got something. People would be interested in that, but now you're going to take the title off of her?
Hopefully we'll see what happens next week. If we don't see much next week, I'll be worried about what happens.
I think this is what I think is going to happen. They're going to put it back on her, but they just showed her how easy. Next time you got to be a company.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, everybody else, all the higher ups, are running their mouths.
Yeah.
But they tell the talent to shut up.
GO23, Vince, do your thing.
GO23. GO23. Okay.
All right. We are about to run out of time. We get about 5 more minutes before we're out of time.
That's a very important question.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, like just a couple of things, bro. I swear to God, I'm watching the last match for 35 minutes. Mac, what is everybody's fashion? What is the fascination with guys flipping and going through shit? Like, what is the fascination with that? Like, I am so tired of seeing guys flip and going through freaking furniture, and they're still getting excited like it's the first time they ever saw it. But here's what I want to Dutch, because this is what I really didn't understand.
Wait a minute, Vince. I'm not gonna let you get away with it that easily.
Because you get excited, Mac, when somebody goes through a table 18 times.
No, but I'm not 15, 20 years old. People who may not have ever seen that before who find that very entertaining. So you got to keep that in mind, don't you think?
But guess what? They have seen it already by now, and they're going to continue to do it.
Yep.
Now, we'll say that when we got that first
what I think?
team.
I think they're doing it for the talent in the back. They're working for the dressing room instead of working for the TV crowd.
Dutch, you know who says that? Every single Al Snow. Al Snow says exactly that all the time, man.
And now, it's true. I've heard it too.
Here's the confusing part that I want to ask Dutch, because Mac, this confused the hell out of me. Obviously, they're going to go to Fatu and Solo. And obviously they want Fatu to be the baby face. Okay. But if you want Fatu to be the baby face and that's the direction you're going in, Dutch, why are they having Fatu beat up baby faces?
Yep.
I don't understand that for the life of me. You're going to turn this guy baby face, but you got him beating up other baby faces?
Yep.
Well, at this point, I think we can get by with that because they haven't switched him. So, and that will be a big angle if they do it right. When Solo turns on him and he's already shown some like disobedience, like, hey, give me the mic. But I didn't like the way Solo, he just, it was an eye roll, like, oh God, here we go again. He should have looked at him like, hey man, you only got a few more times to do that.
Yeah.
A few more times. And because next time, but they kind of building it right, but I don't know why. I guess they just keep it in line till they shoot the angle, I guess. I have no idea. You asking me to explain the unexplainable. I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Apparently, they didn't go through the Jimmy Cornette School of Wrestling 101.
Yeah.
They'd all get cussed out, and they'd remember that. So, but I don't know.
They went home too, Mac. They went home way too early. I thought somebody got hurt because they were really stretching for time. They went home way too early, man.
Yeah, because it felt like all the the replays they were showing, it was almost as long as the match. It felt like towards the end because it.
Yeah.
Didn't they advertise tonight the last hour commercial free?
Commercial free, yes.
Now the last
wasn't.
Yeah, the last hour was supposed to be commercial free. I didn't
but
pay
it
attention
wasn't because the last hour means from 10 o'clock on.
Right.
To but I know they didn't start that damn three-way match to like halfway through the hour, and they had commercials up to then, so they lied.
Wow.
And I'm not going to be lied to many more times, by God.
Roddy Las Vegas, I agree with the theory that Rock is trying to get Triple H fired. But honestly, if he did get it done, the shows can't get worse. So firing.
You know what's the weird thing about this, Mac? Like, I swear to God, man, Dutch can tell you this. You know this, Mac. Man, bro, when you're in the wrestling business and you know your number's going to be called, like, you know it. You know it. Like, you know it's coming. Like, you just know it and you prepare for it and you know that it's coming. I think the writing is on the wall with Triple H. So in this instance, Mac, I would belittle. I would lay low. Bro, the self-glorification of Triple H over the WrestleMania weekend. Bro, two statues are made for the guy. Bro, he's got Austin and Brett on the stage. He's given himself a grand entrance. He's talking at the Hall of Fame for an hour and a half at 2:00 in the morning. He's at the scrum front and center. You would think, man, if you knew something was going on, you would kind of lay low.
Yep.
Man, he's doing the complete opposite, man.
Well, here's the thing that, a little bit of that conspiracy theory. Let's talk about it real fast. When I see him at the Hall of Fame and I see all the statues and everything, and I see Stephanie joining him out there to introduce WrestleMania, my thought is they're trying to get all this in because he's not going to be here much longer.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
But the question is, how are they going to get rid of it?
I don't know, because I don't think The Rock can do his job. I don't know who else could do his job at this point. Vince, do you know anybody?
I think Rock.
Me and Vince could do it.
Yeah, I think Rock's got an entire list of who he would bring in tomorrow. Hey, Dutch, did you hear about a Booker T at the Hall of Fame?
No, I heard something about him. Oh yeah, you went to sleep.
Yeah, they have shots of him sleeping, Dutch. So he came back and he said he wasn't. He said he wasn't sleeping. He said he was in deep prayer. He said he was.
Yeah,
that popped me.
He hopes the show. He's praying that the shows are good.
That popped me huge, man.
Oh, hey, here's Roland. We got to get Roland.
Hey, Roland, what's
here.
Going on, man?
He says, I wonder if McMahon would let talent have an executive position. Rock was appointed to the TKO board on January 23rd, and 3 days later, Janelle Grant's lawsuit provokes Vince McMahon to resign from the TKO board.
Well, they knew that was coming.
Oh yeah, I think a lot.
They all knew that. You just don't spring something like that on anybody like Vince. They know it's coming, so they're covering their butts.
Yep.
And I don't blame them. That's the way business should be done.
Anything else you need to talk about before we get out of here? Anything about the show, Vince? You?
No, I'm good. Dutch, tell them about Story Time with Dutch.
Hey, on YouTube, go to Story Time with Dutch. I do it with my co-host James, and very good show. It's about an hour and 15 minutes, and it's really like we're going down the road to a town and we're just talking, and he give me some news and I'll throw it back. And we were having guests on there. I think we're going to still have them, but James says we do better without the guest.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
So.
And it's better not to have the guest a lot of times if you're trying to build a podcast too and get views, because you don't want to rely on your guest to get you those numbers.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
Hey,
go ahead, Dutch.
No, does he have guests on the show, or does he?
I don't think so.
I've never heard him with one.
When he's talking, is he on camera or not?
I don't
or you
believe
just hear his
so.
voice?
I've never seen a YouTube version of that show. It's always been audio only.
All audio. Yeah.
Okay.
Vince, I've got Road Trip After Hours. Of course, we do that every Thursday night. That's live with myself and Hall of Famer Teddy Long. That's a fun show. I enjoy that. And of course, I do other things with Sports Kita with Bill Apter and Teddy Long.
Vince, when are we going in? The Hall.
What do you mean?
And the Hall of Fame.
No, I think Dutch will go in.
Dutch should be in the Hall of Fame.
Got to be in the Hall of Fame. Are you kidding me?
Just the mustache alone should be in the Hall
there's
of Fame.
two inductions, Dutch and the mustache. 2 inductions.
Yeah. We'll do an induction with the mustache. Then I'll shave it off real quick and I'll come out completely somebody different.
Yeah. I shaved my head one time thinking it would grow back real quick. You see what happened. It didn't grow back.
Then I'll come back as Texas dirt.
Yeah,
Dirt,
there
Texas.
you go. There you go.
That was a good one.
Yes.
Vince, how about you? I know you've got some shows.
Yeah, no, just real quick, guys. You can get a free week of the brand. Just go to patreon.com/Russo TWC. Get you a free week.
All right, guys, that's BroDown for this week. I'm your host, Mac Davis. That, of course, is Vince Russo and a legendary, dirty Dutch Mantell. We'll see you again next week.
We